Knees weak, scary spaghetti.
Channel surfing into nightmares.
Staying up till 6 a.m.
All that and more.
Cody, punch Mike Tyson one more time.
Oh, well, I would go ahead and do it.
Welcome to episode number 4 of the Super Media Brothers podcast.
Boy, my voice is sexy as fuck.
It's dead Balboa sexy, and it's pretty fucking amazing.
Hey, Adrian. Is my voice sexy?
I did it.
I did it.
I did it.
Yay.
Yay.
You know. Mike Tyson, he knocked the fuck out.
Oh,
you ain't getting off.
Sorry, that's fucking great, dude.
What are you laughing at, man? This ain't funny, man.
Fucking stop, I'm done. Oh, God. Oh, shit, it's great. Sorry.
Why you be making fun of my voice?
God damn. I wish everybody out there could see the facial expressions that are happening, because it's fucking great. It's the only reason I would say let's start a YouTube channel eventually, which I would love to do that, but still.
We gonna do that.
We're gonna do that, and then you'll be able to see the face.
You better redeem my dope face.
I must break you.
Must break you.
Must break you.
Like Mother Russia broke me.
Mother Russia.
And then I broke bareback.
Mountain.
Quit fucking around.
Oh, fuck. Okay, guys. Episode 4.
Welcome back.
Yeah, if you're still with us, fuck yeah.
Not fuck you, but fuck yeah.
Yeah, not fuck you, but fuck yeah. If you can handle Rocky Balboa talking to a wheezing, laughing fucker.
To a wheezing dick.
The wheezing dick.
Why does it sound like The Walking Dead, but instead it's a wheezing dick?
Wheezing dick. This week on the wheezing dick.
Negan has a big freaking dildo instead of a bat.
My dick is Lucille.
Lucy.
Yeah, it's wrapped in barbed wire.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Barbed for her pleasure?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's eye-popping pain.
God damn it.
This episode's brought to you by Excedrin Migraine. Just say it.
The headache medicine.
The headache medicine. Okay.
And Visine.
Right? Oh, damn, bruh.
I haven't even watched the episode and I still know what's going on.
Okay, we need Johnson & Johnson Band-Aids to hop all over this shit as well. My God. Okay.
Where's Ben Stein with clear eyes?
Try no eyes. They're wow. Ow.
Ow. It's like E.T. Ouch.
Ouch. Okay, we've got a number of things to talk about this week, and also being this week is Halloween. Yeah. And it's not necessarily a, quote, Halloween-themed episode. It's more or less just some things that we like talking about that have to do with the season of Halloween, and... You know.
And I didn't realize that one of the things we're talking about actually has something with that in mind.
Yeah.
So that's even better. My mind blew.
Did it a little bit?
It struck my left side of my face again.
Well, that's why...
That's
why you're talking about
that. You know, he punched me once, but, you know.
Then I decided to open up an Italian shop, restaurant.
Selling sandwiches and pizzas.
Pizzas and sandwiches. Well, shit.
Yeah, call Adrian.
Let's hop right into it. I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna speak a little briefly about this an upcoming film in February. The only reason I'm starting off with this and speaking briefly on it is just because it was just announced formally, and then there's a slight synopsis to it. There's not really much else thrown out there. It's a film called God Particle, and I'm not even sure if they're going to go with this as the actual title. It is a J.J. Abrams produced film, and it is and has been confirmed as the third entry into the Cloverfield anthology.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane was a very surprising...
It was a good approach to the entire series, because normally it's the monster movie that documentary style, it's all panicky and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's more film, cinematography, high quality stuff.
Yeah.
And it has that suspense and horror to it almost.
Yeah, and this was right up until the end. 10 Cloverfield Lane was very much a psychological thriller. And
Thanks to John Goodman.
Yeah, and who was excellent in that role.
Creepy as fuck.
He's good, though.
Yeah.
The one thing I do know about God Particle is that Daniel Bruhl, the guy that played Helmet Zero...
Rewind.
Yeah, thank you. He played Helmet, the main baddie in Civil War. The one that was pretty much mind-fucking Bucky Barnes the whole time.
Mind-fucky
Bucky. He is one of the top billed actors in this movie, and it's interesting to see how this is going to fit into the Cloverfield universe, and I've written down the synopsis. A team of astronauts aboard a space station find themselves alone after a scientific experiment causes Earth to disappear. When a space shuttle appears, the crew must determine whether or not they are friend or foe. So
the whole entire planet is gone.
I don't necessarily think it's that they destroyed Earth. I think what would happen is they just either they can't see it anymore or they think they destroyed it. That would be the twist for me. But
I wonder what the event that would happen for them to think that, though. Is it like just some kind of eclipse happening and they're just like, what the fuck happened? Or
I don't know. I know for a fact they're gonna. I bet you anything, because right now it's October, so that's November, December. There's 4 months until this comes out. It comes out in February. So, much like with Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane, they could probably start rolling out the alternate reality gaming. And I would have to think that all the, remember the company that John Goodman had worked for? We talked about that.
Yeah, it was a satellite-based organization.
Yeah, and I'm thinking it can all, again, tie into these conglomerate things. This is more of a space outing, so it's going to be beyond his expertise.
That would make sense. Like, it was like a ship that was so large that it basically eclipsed the Earth.
Yeah, but, oh, dude, okay, in 10 Cloverfield Lane, the little pod alien creature that came down, what if those came from the spaceship?
The mothership.
Yeah. And what if, in the first movie, Clovey, like, that's what they were, calling the monster. What if somehow when that satellite come down or whatever, what if somehow he was an abandoned species on the planet from this mothership? That could tie everything together.
Yep.
Holy shit. I can't wait for this. Filming began in June of this year, and it's wrapped already, so...
I can't wait for this.
Oh, I fucking can't either.
It's a good Valentine's Day thing.
Right. February 24th, 2017. God Particle. Keep up with it, and it may or may not change titles, but you guys out there can follow it, and...
I'm sure they'll do something with Clover in it, just to keep everything trilogy-based.
They need to.
Because, they did Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield.
Yeah, this could be...
Cloverfield Particle.
Well, Cloverfield could probably be the name of the space station that they're on.
Probably.
Something of the sort.
That's why everything ties back to the name.
Right?
Conspiracy.
Yeah. But that's that's all I have to say about that.
About
that.
So we're going to be watching over now?
Yeah, I guess we can watch
Or we can, twist it around, be Overwatch.
Yes.
Now, granted, this game's been out for a while, and I get that. But I recently came across this game 2 weeks ago, something like that. And I have been watching YouTube videos of gameplay for so many months. And I have gotten so addicted to the idea of how much fun this game is just from those videos. Now, playing it firsthand, it's literally the same effect. I have so much fun whether I'm actually doing good or I'm getting my ass handed to me. So that's a perk right there. Being a Blizzard game, I kind of had expectations of it being a really good game in general. Game Informer, Game Informer gave it a perfect 10, which is very rare because they gave very few games in the past a perfect 10.
I know, that's when you told me that. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, this is the quality of this company's, expertise, basically. Now, what ties in with everything we're talking about is the past month they've done a Halloween-themed, social event, basically. On top of having like a separate event, like a separate play style called Dr. Juckenstein's Revenge. It's basically taking the characters from the game and turning them into like a horror based like movie scenario kind of thing. It's a temporary little match. You basically shoot robots and kill little temporary bosses and stuff like that. But on top of that, they have the normal loot boxes you get every level up, or if you get like a package of them through like the PSN network. They have the little jack o' lanterns with the trick or treat in them, and they have Halloween themed like stamps, costumes, lines for the characters to say, and it's so much fun to like get the cool like skins for most of the characters. Like Reaper, he's basically the undead character in the game. He has these two like shotgun like pistols. He has a Sleepy Hollow look. He has the pumpkin head. He has the two candles on his guns, like lighting up his gun and stuff. Mercy, who's like the angel, the resurrector, she has a witch costume, very naughty and stuff like that. And even with Junkrat, who's like the crazy like mechanical person, he has the Dr. Frankenstein look, where he has like the white lab coat, the white hair, the goggles, and like the electricity and stuff around him. It's really cool. Like I'm actually trying to find more people to play with, because it's a very social based game where you get like 6 people that together to actually take on other teams and stuff like that.
This may very well be my next game purchase.
You need to now. Granted, you do have to get the PlayStation Plus membership to play online with it, but yeah. I mean it's pretty cheap. I mean it's like $13 I think for what I have for 3 months.
That's not bad. And I know out there, like if you don't want to commit as far as like putting your anybody out there listening too, if you don't want to put your credit card information online, I think that you can buy gift cards and then just enter it that way.
Well, they have separate cards for the PlayStation Plus. You can buy at like GameStop and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, and you basically just input the little code that they give you with it. But yeah, I have so much fun. Like I just started getting into one character called Zenyatta. And he's basically like a monk robot that like floats around the entire match. He doesn't really put his feet on the ground. And he has like those beads that they usually wear around their necks, but they're like floating around them, and they're like as big as his palm, basically.
That's fucking cool.
So he would shoot them out with his hands, like with the force of his meditation power and stuff. And there was a skin I got a couple of days ago. It was the Egyptian form.
Oh, what?
It was like the Horus looking like face and the cowl and stuff from the pharaohs and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's called Sunyata, and it's really cool. But my favorite part about that was I found they do what's called a play of the game. Mm-hmm. So if you do really well out of all 12 people, they highlight your like moment in the match, and they'll display it at the end of the match. Well, I got this one match where or this one outro basically. He takes this like orb that's like the yin and yang in it, and he grabs it and he turns around and he has both of them one on each other.
Oh, what?
And that's his outro, and it says "Play of the Game, Zenyatta," or "Kami of War" as Zenyatta, and it's really cool how he does it.
Fucking right.
But I got a few highlights so far playing as him and a few other characters, so it makes me feel good that I'm actually good.
I'd like to get that just so like me and you can get on a team with some other people and just go fuck shit up. Like what is is it strictly online, or is there like a campaign on the game if you play
no,
it?
it's online only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's social playing games like you can do against other people. There's like you can get 6 people to play against robot AI characters, and I think there's a competitive match. Yeah, I just hit 25 today, so I played some competitive mode this morning, which it's intense.
Nice.
But yeah, there's no like single player setup at all, which I mean I'm not really hurting for it. The multiplayer's worth it.
Yeah. See, I know. I think games like consoles like Xbox with Halo, games like Halo have that covered. Like if you want a campaign, there's a campaign, but you can also do online play. But I like that they're pitching this as strictly online play. Mm-hmm. You'll attract that specific crowd that have been clamoring for something that is specifically online, where they don't have to like, oh, let me sit at home and just kind of play by myself. No, this is a game that's marketed to people that like to be socially interactive on the internet with other people. And that's cool.
And the cool thing about that is they have so many characters to play with that you're not going to be limited to like, well, I'm not going to find someone that fits my playstyle, because you have like attack characters, you have defense, you have tanks, and then you have your support characters.
Like your healers and things like that.
Yeah, like Zenyatta's a healer, but he's mostly support and heal. He's not really one or the other. I usually play him, Genji, who's an attack. He's a ninja, basically. Roadhog, who's basically a badass, like, fat ass biker character.
Yeah, yeah.
Who else do I play? Reinhardt. I play a little bit of Anna. And I'm trying to dabble with Widowmaker, but I'm not used to sniping in that game yet, which is kind of weird because I'm mostly a sniper.
Yeah, see, and I'm more, I wouldn't know what to call it, I guess attacker, because I go in guns blazing. Like, I usually go in and just, like, wreck shop with whoever.
You might actually do good with, like, Reaper.
Yeah.
Because he's the, he basically has those 2 massive shotgun pistols, and he'll just go around shooting people with the blast, and he can phase out and, like, go somewhere else.
Like teleport, pretty much.
Basically, like, it's like a soul basically just transmitting from one place to another.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
And then if he gets too intense in the battle, he can basically like phase into his soul form and like float around a little bit and then come back down.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
And his ultimate is actually annoying but cool at the same time. It's called Death Blossom.
Mm-hmm.
He'll jump in and just literally just shoot everybody around him for like 5 seconds.
Okay, we watched Jacksepticeye play this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he was doing.
Yeah, playing as Reaper. Yeah, because Zenyatta plays his Transcendence, and he basically just becomes invulnerable for like a couple seconds, but he heals everybody that's on his team around him, and they basically just don't die within that little field of area that he has set up. Genji does his Dragon Blade, which is basically just like intense attacks with his sword. You know, everybody has their own ultimate, basically.
Yeah. Well, shit, that sounds like a fucking badass game. I need to get it.
You do.
I straight up need to get it. I'm assuming it's like between 40 something and $60 for the game.
I actually didn't pay that much for it. I paid for like $4, I think.
That's not bad.
Because it was used, and I got it fairly cheap.
Oh, well, fuck, dude. Like, see, that's another thing, too. Like, the games like that, like, especially PlayStation 3, because it's Blu-ray burnt. Mm-hmm. Blu-ray, you have a really hard time fucking up a Blu-ray disc. So,
and that's what they always asked me at GameStop. I was like, do you want insurance on the games in case something happens? So it's like, it's a Blu-ray disc. I'd never even mess with the original disc whenever it was not Blu-ray. So why would I need insurance on a game that I will not fuck up? Literally.
Yeah, shit.
If I put a key to the damn thing, it'll still play.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a really good game, dude. It sounds like it's fucking fun. And
it's totally... I'm legitimately having so much fun with this game. It's so worth the money regardless if it's full price or if it's used. And for the membership to play online, I normally don't like that about games, where you have to pay a membership just to play online. That's why I didn't play Xbox. But this game was probably the only game I'll probably do that for.
Nice.
So.
But shit, pick it up, people. Overwatch for PlayStation
4,
motherfucker.
Quattro. Shout out to Matt. That's our word.
Hell yeah. I'm going to talk a little short bit about okay, speaking of video games, there, as anybody out there probably knows, there is a franchise called Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, FNAF! Scott Cawthorn has put out the 4 of them, and then he most recently put out Sister Location, which has been a really big change to the series. Now, all the while, playing this, as with any franchise of any kind of multimedia aspect, there are fan arts, there are fan fictions, things like that. Very, very rarely do we get music inspired by certain things that's actually good. Mm-hmm. There is a user out there, I believe it's a YouTube user, by the moniker Try Hard Ninja. It's all put together. You can YouTube this. He does primarily video game songs. It's not just this, but he's done other ones before. I actually checked out his album called Five Nights at Freddy's Songs because my son likes to YouTube some of these music videos online. And I was like, okay, this guy has a pretty cool sound. It's really electronic and dubstep, mostly dubstep based. But the way he does it is kind of different. It has more of a rock feel to it. Mm-hmm. So I heard It's Me, Follow Me, Goodbye, and Five Nights at Freddy's 4 song on YouTube. And then I found out he had an 8-song EP that was on sale for like $6, $5 or $6 on iTunes. It's actually still there, and you can download it. Surprisingly, it's very good.
I mean, from a little bit I heard earlier when I pulled up, it sounded pretty legit.
It really is. And my favorite song on the album is the Puppet song. And it's one of those songs that, when you look at the lyrics to it, it directly translates to, like, all these songs have to do with the mythology of the Five Nights at Freddy's series, obviously. But this song in general kind of transcends that, and you can take it as a personal thing. And that's what I liked about that song in particular. The other songs are definitely just, they're fun and they're energetic, and you can just kind of not really think about it and just listen and go. It's really well produced. The quality is really well done. The person he worked with that produced it did a really good job engineering the album. It's not too loud as far as the loudness awards go with music these days. How everything's just overdriven.
Yeah.
It's good Halloween music, you know? Spooky. But if you guys out there want to YouTube any of these songs before you purchase the album, my suggestions are the Puppet song, Follow Me, and Goodbye. Goodbye is the very last track on the album, and it's more... I don't know how to really say it other than it's... For the electronic aspect, it's the heavier, quote, I'm doing air quotes, it's the heavier song on the album. But again, like, for something like this, it's considered novelty or, like, you know, flash in the pan, which obviously, like, by all standards, it should be flash in the pan. But it's good for what it is. And if you're a fan of the franchise and you've played the games and you like the mythology, definitely check this out. And it's by Try Hard Ninja. And it's on iTunes. And the album is called Five Nights at Freddy's Songs.
I mean, I've always liked the Joy of Creation section of that whole entire series versus the rest of the game. Now, granted, you know, the first three and all that were fun. I didn't really care for, I think it was the fourth one where it was like the kid in the bedroom.
I liked that one only because it seemed to be a little more difficult. Like, the aspect of gameplay was a little more difficult to figure out the mechanics.
Yeah. But I just like the fact that you actually had to find a way away from the characters instead of trying to, like, shut yourself away in this one room and you're restricted, basically. Joy of Creation was literally... I mean, I think it was still kind of like in the testing phase and beta phase or something when I saw it last. But you're going through a house or a set of rooms trying to find these certain items, and the animatronic was walking around looking for you. And you basically can hear them clomping on the ground. You see the lights from their eyes shining in the hallways. And it literally freaked me out more than any of the other games because you're literally, as soon as they saw you, they turned red and they came crushing at you. It's like... Holy shit.
Yeah, and it's not like you can just freeze and you die. You can run from them, but you ain't gonna run long. And what I liked was every character had a certain tick to it.
Yeah.
They had a certain way to beat them.
Like, I know Foxy was, how was Foxy?
You had to turn around and look at him.
Yeah, he stopped, basically. And then Chica, you basically had to, like, keep turning and moving around and stay in the light or stay on the path or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god, fuck that shit. But the way the character designs went from really kid-friendly looking to very, like...
Violent.
Yeah.
Like, Foxy was, like, just, it was, what was the version of Foxy? It was, like, Mangled. Mangled Foxy was, like, horrifically looking, because it was, like, just the parts of his face was deteriorating, and the jaw was, like, all, like, sharp edges and teeth and stuff.
3 whole sets of teeth in the mouth,
and then he had, like, the broken up body to where it was, like, the parts were just, like, dangling and stuff.
Yeah.
He was freaking awesome, though.
Yeah, for sure. But, I mean, yeah, definitely. And check out the games and stuff, too. Even the spin-offs. Also, before we leave this topic, it has been announced that there will be a Five Nights at Freddy's film and eventual franchise, I'm sure. There's not much else to talk about on that, but when more details become available, I'm sure we'll revisit the franchise then.
Yep.
Moving on up.
To them scary spaghettis.
Oh, shit. Scary spaghetti. No.
Knees weak.
Knees weak, scary spaghetti. There's terror on your sweater already. Not terror, but tears.
Tears, yeah, tears. Like Freddy.
Yeah. Now,
Freddy Krueger. Right. Going from one Freddy to another.
No shit. Creepypastas.
Y'all probably heard of the one episode we did on all the theories and conspiracies and the creepypastas, so y'all probably have a good idea about what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, for those of you who hadn't heard that, and we'll briefly kind of summarize. Creepypastas weren't they born on like Reddit forums and things like that?
Yeah, it was all internet based, like mythologies and not mythologies, but myths and urban legends and stuff like that. So to basically get the title of creepypasta, it has to have some basis off the internet.
Yeah, and then a lot of it also had to do with like pop culture, like some of them like derived from video games, as far as the binge round story, and
There's Pokemon based ones too.
yeah, my favorite creepypasta was the Pen Pal series. I really liked those. That genuinely creeped me out because it was something that could happen, like in real life.
Yeah, like the original creepypasta that set off everybody's interest was Slender Man.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, obviously, because that's like the hugest fan base on that area in general.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite one out of all of them is still the Russian sleep experiment.
Yeah, the Russian sleep experiment was fucking just wild.
It's not really more of it's terrifying, it's horror, but as much as that, and it makes you think.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these is just like little, campfire stories or just stuff you tell your people in the dark and stuff like that. But now this one is just like, when you get to the end, it makes you wonder, is like, maybe they're not blowing shit out their ass as much as we thought they were.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reason why we're talking about creepypastas was I was actually watching a YouTube video or something the other day, and there was a certain commercial popping up on the YouTube ad, and I heard one thing, and I would flip my shit. It was, have you heard of Candle Cove? And I was like, holy shit, they're talking about creepypastas.
Yeah, Candle Cove.
So, Sci-Fi decided to make a television series based off of the creepypasta Candle Cove. And what Candle Cove is basically based off of the idea that there's a television series for kids that seems innocent on the outside. You have, puppets and, little kid-friendly stuff going around the show, but for some odd reason, it's not physically there. Because these kids are basically staring at a static screen the entire time. But they see this perception of, like, puppets and all this other stuff going around. And they call it Candle Cove.
That's fucking creepy, though.
Yeah, and the show never aired, per se, in that realm. But apparently the kids saw this and they're like, oh, yeah, we talk about the show all the time. But then the parents are like, they're just staring at a blank screen.
So it's almost as if only the kids can see it.
Yeah. So what Sci-Fi did was they called the show Channel Zero, which, I mean, it's appropriate. I read up on it, and it's basically like, this main character, I can't remember the name offhand, but the main character is noticing that these kids are having these real terrorizing nightmares about characters from a TV show that technically doesn't exist, but to them it does. And oh my god, dude, I saw this picture of one of the freaking characters from the show. It looked like he had nothing but teeth all over his body.
Holy shit.
Like, all the fingernails and stuff were overgrown, but it was just like repetition, like scales just sticking up on it.
Holy crap.
You saw a mouth, and that was it. And I saw one of the kids, like, put his hand in his mouth. I was just like, what the fuck?
Oh.
It's like, is this like part of the nightmare thing, or is this an actual character from the show or something? But man, it looks so like tempting to watch, and it only has like 2 episodes or 3 episodes out so far. I think it just aired like a couple weeks ago.
I bet you I could find it on Plex.
Probably.
So it's sci-fi. And see, here lately, I've been trying to look at certain sci-fi series because my mom was telling me that iZombie is actually okay. Like, I mean,
it is
actually.
If
if you like, it's made by the Asylum company, the people that did Sharknado and stuff. So I was just kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch it. But I've been hearing that it's actually all right.
It's decent. I got hooked into it for a good like 3/4 of the first season.
Cool. So
I mean, granted, the main character is pretty hot, but still.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I don't remember. I'm not good with names. I just know that she's a hot blonde. I will say that much. But she looks just as good as a zombie.
Fucking right, man. So, Channel Zero on Sci-Fi.
Check it out.
Cool.
For the people that have cable.
Yeah, no shit, right? I'm surprised they haven't done on demand for that yet.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
And that's been the best thing. For me, that's been the best thing because I like watching television series and, shit like that, but I don't want to commit to buying full, like, paid for cable, like, all these channels I'm not going to watch. I know what I like and I know what I would watch.
Yeah. But you would think that, I had this conversation with a customer earlier. It was basically, why don't they make it to where you have a select amount of channels you can choose from and then make your own package?
That'd be awesome as fuck, dude.
Because you still pay the money to watch what you want to watch and not take, all the other channels that you don't want. And you're paying for that too.
Yeah.
So just keep what you want.
Yeah, because I remember paying Suddenlink almost $100 a month for cable and internet, and I would probably only watch about 20 channels out of the 200 that I could choose from. Now, one of those channels I did enjoy paying for was Stars. Stars has its own on demand, much like HBO does now. You can watch Stars on demand. I load I load things onto the Plex account from there, and the reason I'm getting here is because there is a Stars original series called Ash vs. Evil Dead, and it is based on the original Evil Dead trilogy starring Bruce Campbell.
Hail to the king.
Hail to the king, baby. It's in its second season, and we're about 5 episodes in. I've let the Plex kind of collect the episodes so I could kind of binge watch. I'm into the second episode right now. Let me just get this out of the way. The first season was phenomenal. If anybody out there is a fan of the Evil Dead franchise, the original franchise, it's just as good as the series itself. It's one of those rare things where it stays true to the mythology, but it adds on. And it adds on in such a way that it feels correct. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Like, it's almost like these characters were there the whole time.
They feel natural, basically.
They do, and the way the story has progressed, it feels very natural. Bruce Campbell is funnier than ever, which I didn't think could be possible, because he's fucking hilarious anyway. The chainsaw, the blood and guts in this fucking franchise is so over the top. I can't even believe that even Stars is letting them get away with this. Like, for fuck's sake, the second episode, he got fucking tangled up in a dead person's intestines, and the intestines pulled him up into this guy's asshole.
Really?
Yes, and the way they did it was fucking hilarious. Because he's sitting there being dragged up onto this fucking silver slab in a morgue, and he knows it's coming. He's just looking up, and he's like, no, not the asshole! It was like Nicolas Cage with Not the Bees, but it was Bruce Campbell, not the asshole! And you just see it happen, and you just see, like, shit just pouring all over him, and he's like dry heaving, and then it shoves his head up his ass, and the dude has been like cut from his crotch up to his chest, so it's a gaping hole, and you can see him in the fucking dude's stomach, and it's a wide shot of him like freaking out. So he's running around with his head up this dead corpse's ass, and he's just slamming it everywhere trying to get him off, and it's very much Three Stooges physical comedy. So I was like, how are they going to get away with this? And then I watched it, I was like, oh, this is fucking gold. It was so fucking just comedy gold.
Make it comedic and you can get away with it.
It's really true. But that's the best part about this franchise, is that it knows when to get a little serious. It stays funny throughout. The violence is over the top in a way, again, that stays true to the franchise's original like series, and then progresses it in such a way where it's like, fuck, this is great. This is like the perfect blend of black comedy, action, literal adventure, because they're never in one place at the same time. Just fuck, check it out. Like, and even if you have to get caught up, it's just 3 movies. It's Evil Dead, then Evil Dead 2, and then Army of Darkness. So watch those. Go find Ash vs. Evil Dead and enjoy the fuck out of yourselves. The best part about it is, people get too pissed off that, oh, Walking Dead drags on for an hour and it didn't go anywhere, or shows that just last too long. Ash vs. Evil Dead, the episodes are between 20 and 30 minutes apiece. So you're in and you're out, and you got your story taken care of. You've gotten
your action feel.
Yeah, you've gotten everything, like, done. You've got story progression, character development, and everything. And it's fan-fucking-tastic. I highly recommend this. Even if you've never heard of any of this shit before, go do your homework and then join in with the rest of us, because we're having a fucking blast watching this.
Groovy.
Exactly.
I can't even talk.
Groovy. But, yeah, that's all I got for that. Just fucking check that shit out. It's fantastic.
Butt fucking check it out.
Just butt fucking check it out. So a little bit of off the cuffness here. We are currently testing out a new mic setup for this show. We're going to try to make the production quality a little bit better.
We're not doing it right now, by the way.
No, we're not doing it right now.
Because we were getting frustrated.
Yeah.
Mostly him, but still.
Yeah, it's all good though. We'll get it taken care of. I just got a few kinks to figure out in the armor there, and we'll get it up and running. I can't guarantee that it'll be like within the next couple of episodes, but I'll try. And other than that, we hope you guys have been enjoying the shit out of us. We've enjoyed doing this show. We do plan on having more guests come on. We do eventually plan on getting more local talent to come talk with us. We are based in the Lake Charles, Louisiana area, so there is an ever-growing community in like the art, music, like everything that has to do with what we talk about.
The entertainment industry, basically.
Yeah, and we will eventually have more guests on the show. That could be anywhere from bands or artists or just friends of ours that want to come shoot the shit with us.
Just networking in general.
Yes.
Trying to get all people's names.
Yes. And speaking of, I want to plug some really good friends of ours. Jeff and Casey run a podcast called The Wrong Company Podcast. Cody and I have been on a couple of episodes of theirs before, and we highly enjoy listening to their usual banter.
Weren't we on just one? I was on one.
You were on one, and I was on that one with you, and then I went back, and they're currently doing a series in their show based on the Canon films,
Gotcha.
the Canon film group. So I joined in on one of those episodes. Had a fucking blast doing it. But yeah, go check those guys out. They're on iTunes, and go like their Facebook page, and really good friends of the show. Check them out. And we do plan on networking more people as we,
progress.
Yeah, exactly. So but again, we thank you guys very much for giving us an opportunity to fill your ear holes with fun.
Yes, gracias.
I could have just left it as fill your ear holes.
No, grassy ass.
Grassy ass.
Yes, with my sexy sore voice.
It's okay. It brings the suave.
Do you people want to hear me talk like this all the time? How about them legs?
Oh my God, yes.
I'm never gonna live that down.
No,
I'm not gonna let myself down.
You sound like Christian Bale Batman when you were doing that.
Where the drugs going?
What was that? I can't even do Michael Caine. What was that, Master Wayne?
I said, where were the other drugs going?
Master Wayne.
I was wondering.
Where are the other drugs going?
Hello, governor.
Hello, governor. Where are the other drugs going?
That's hurting me right now.
Okay, fuck. Well, if we would you like to tell the drummer to like get the shit rolling so we can get out of here?
Hey, bitch. Drum roll.
I'm surprised he played it. You called him a bitch.
Because he's a bitch.
He is a bitch.
Yeah, and a lover, and a child. And
that's right. Again, check us out on social media. Tell your friends to come like our page and all that good jazz. But until next week, shades on.
We're off.